Hello, my fellow Americans. If you cannot tell already and hear and see what is going on, I have made my way to Quezon, where the North Vietnamese have been bombing for 70 days. We only have about 6,000 Marines against their 20,000 troops. I also have General Westmoreland here to me to talk about what he thinks is going to happen and how he feels. Hello, General. Thank you for having this interview during this hard time.
You're welcome, but I do not know how long I can talk with all that is happening.
That is fine, sir. I understand that the importance of you helping and not talking. I just have a few questions to ask. That is all. How have you gone 70 days fighting while still being outnumbered?
The reason behind that is that the men we have fighting for us. These men are strong and keep fighting. They are the best men I've ever seen, and I'm glad they are under my command. As well as having the advantage, even though North Vietnamese is bombing us, they are also running at us, which gives us the advantage of having them come towards us.
Well, that's good to hear. You are able to keep fighting and have that advantage. How much longer do you think this fight will last here at the camp?
I cannot say for sure, but we are willing to keep fighting and beat the Vietnamese. We are determined to not lose and hold our ground here. We will fight as long as we need till the Vietnamese give up.
Strong words from a strong man. I also have to ask if you believe we have a chance at winning this war.
I think we have the best forces in the world, and we want to win this thing. I believe we have a great chance at winning and liberating Vietnam. I see it in our best interest to keep the fighting going and outlast their forces. Now, I wish I could answer more, but my men need me. Go.
Well, sad to see him go and not be able to take any more questions, but they need him. Let's see if we can find anyone else to answer a few questions. Hey, sir, do you mind answering a few questions for us? I'm Walter Cronkite with CBS News.
Yes, I can. What do you want to know?
I was wondering, how long have you been here on base?
I've been here for about 6 months and counting. Feels like time goes really slow, and it's been horrific with all the bombing.
We have word that hopefully bombing should end soon, and hopefully we can see an end to this war with time. How are you guys with supplies with the bombing?
Supplies have been hard to get. We have lost over 30 helicopters to the bombings. They've gotten good at timing and being able to land, but they only get about 20 seconds to land and take off again. Many men here are hungry and dehydrated, and we have to catch a condensation in the morning.
That is horrible. This is no way to live, and thank you for fighting still. And thank you to the fallen pilots and people bringing more supplies. That is all I have to ask. Thank you for your time and for your service. Hello, everyone. I have just snuck into the confines of a prisoner of war camp. They call it the Hanoi Hilton. Truth to be told, the things I've heard about this camp do not scream that this is a comfortable place to stay at. A guy here named Jerry Denton is famous for blinking out in Morse code the word torture on public TV interview, confirming that these prisoner of war camps are no cakewalk. Look at this, for example. These are used by hanging the person off of them with ropes, which slowly cuts off their bloodstream. Over 700 U.S. soldiers are confirmed to be in one of these camps during dotting all of Vietnam. Due to what I have seen, I can't say I have much hope for the people here. Whoa, who are you? Are you Viet Cong?
If I was, I don't think I could speak English.
So who are you? Are you Jerry Denton?
No, I'm Sam Johnson, though Jerry is somewhere around here too. Has America finally come to get us out of this place?
Sadly, no. I'm just a reporter trying to find some good stories.
Well, this is probably the worst place to get them. This is the Hanoi Hilton, currently the most awful spot on the planet. Now get out of my way. I'm trying to find a way out of here.
Wait, can you at least tell me about yourself?
Fine, but you have to help me get out.
Great. Camera is rolling. Go ahead and start.
Well, before all this, I was in the Air Force. I flew almost 100 missions across the Korean War and the Vietnam War.
You were in the Korean War as well?
Yes, I was. On my 25th mission in Vietnam, I was supposed to take out an anti-aircraft gun and dump some napalm on a place meant for supply delivery. A little bit into our flight, we started getting fired at. I get on the guns and they jammed.
Your guns jammed? Oh no.
We were completely defenseless. My right engine caught on fire and I ejected right before the plane crashed. In the midst of ejecting, my back and right arm broke. This made it really hard to get away from the flood of North Vietnamese soldiers who found me a little while after.
Did they bring you here to the Hanoi Hilton?
Yep, I was shoved in solitary confinement. It's been about 3 years since then. I've been starved and tortured. I finally found an opening to get out of my cell, and now we need to get out of here.
Shh, do you hear that?
Intruders!
Run!
Good afternoon, everyone. We have an exclusive interview with first-hand witnesses of the My Lai massacre, including a survivor, William Calley and Hugh Thompson, who helped save the surviving civilians. For your background information, the My Lai massacre was a tragic event where a small U.S. battalion infiltrated a Vietnamese village and killed 504 of the civilians living there. Of the 504 victims, there were 182 women, 17 of which were pregnant at the time, 173 children, including 56 infants. A few lucky survivors were saved by the hands of Hugh Thompson, a helicopter pilot, who flew between the fleeing villagers and the soldiers and told the soldiers that he would open fire if they were to continue attacking. These are their first-hand accounts. First off, we have William Calley. Hello, William.
Hello, Walter.
So, William, we are told that you are the commanding officer that ordered Charlie Company to fire upon the villagers.
Yes, I did. We were informed that there were possible Viet Cong and Viet Cong sympathizers in the area. We had also been ordered to destroy the village, so I was following the orders that I was given.
I see. The fact that the village was primarily women, children, and older men, and only a few weapons were found in the village, and they did not stir up questions on if this village was full of Viet Cong soldiers or sympathizers. So do you see anything wrong with what you had done to the village and the villagers that had lived there?
Yes, I do have guilt for what happened. It was my order that ended so many innocent lives in such a brutal way. So many of them had their entire lives in front of them.
That's great. Thank you for your time, William. Next up, we have a villager that survived the massacre. It's good to have you. You know you are one of the few survivors of this tragic event that all happened from your perspective.
Well, the day started off like a normal day where I went out into the fields and started collecting rice when all of a sudden some USAC soldiers barged into our village and they rounded us all up into separate groups while they looked through our houses for weapons of proof of Viet Cong support. Besides firing only a few weapons, the soldiers decided that we were part of the enemy, opened fire, and killed so many of my fellow villagers. I recall William Calley dragging people over to a ditch to kill them. They killed not just men, it was also women, children, and our livestock.
Wow, so you're one of the lucky few that were able to survive. How did you survive this horrific event?
Well, we were saved by Hugh Thompson, a helicopter pilot that flew his helicopter between us and the soldiers. In the distance, I've faintly heard him tell the soldiers that if they were going to continue firing upon us, he would have had his gunner open fire upon them with a machine gun.
So, Mr. Thompson was the man that saved you and the reason you are one of the few lucky survivors. That is also a perfect transition to our next interview, Mr. Hugh Thompson. Welcome, Officer Thompson. It is a pleasure to have you here.
It's an honor to be here.
So, what was going through your head when you saw what was happening?
Well, my crew and I were shocked. We flew back and forth a couple times. We saw bodies everywhere. They were women, children, and old men, and none of them were draft age. We flew many of the survivors to get medical care, and in 1998, my crew and I awarded with the Soldier's Medal, the U.S. Army's highest award for bravery without direct contact with the enemy.
Wow, that's amazing, and congratulations on your award. You should be proud that you were able to save lives and do the right thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our exclusive interviews with the first-hand witnesses of the My Lai massacre. Have a good night, America.